then I think we can take those 46 wins and then increase the wins. I don't know how much, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 10. I don't know that, but I just think we can be better. I think we got to find a way to play consistent basketball, and we got to take care of business at home. I don't think you can be a great team and have 13 home losses. It's too tough to win on the road. So when you give away, 13 games at home, it making those losses at home, it makes it tough making them up on the road.
And actually, one of the things that has to help with you guys is just having been more settled this year. Last year, so many things, kind of earthquakes happen in this basketball game. There's got to be a lot of calm, which you know.
Well, it was a change. Obviously when you have a change, there's an adjustment, and our guys had a tough time doing that. We're going to basically be doing the same things that they've done here over the last 4 or 5 years. So nothing's going to change in that area. We're going to be a little more demanding defensively, and I know every year we stand up here and say that, but I can honestly say that we are going to be more demanding defensively from the standpoint of just being consistent in what we're doing. As I said, we don't have to be Cleveland or Boston or San Antonio, because we are good offensively. We're very good offensively. But what we have to be able to do is that we have to consistently guard screen and rolls, where we're doing it, enough that we can come up with stops at the end of the game. And then we have to be better in our rotation. Guys get beat, guys are going to get beat out on the floor. I think the advantage that the other teams had against us is that there's no one in the league that's going to keep Steve in front of him. But when he gets by that guy, then their second line and their third line of defense is where they've been really good. And we've got to get to the point where our rotations is such that when Steve does get beat, or when any of our perimeter players get beat on the floor, that we're good enough in our rotations that we can take care of that.
Another thing Steve talked about.
I think that's important. We're not going to try to do anything. I think, we know who we are here. I understand the personnel that we have here. I understand how we have to try to play, and that's what we're going to do. We're not going to do anything. I think as a coach, I've got to look at the personnel and see what's best, the best system for this personnel to have. And I think that, right now we're a running team. We're going to go back to doing that. I think we got to reinstate the culture that we had here, and that is that, we're going to attack. We're going to try to score a lot of points, and we're going to take good shots. There's this thing out there that we come down and we're just flinging the basketball, but I don't think you can do that and lead the league in field goal percentages. The last 3 years, 3 out of the last 4 years for sure.
Amari, was that in part because you want him to start taking more responsibility for the team? He had a quote last year for the top of the cap. I don't know about me. You want him to take maybe more of a leadership role in terms of accountability and responsibility, not just himself, but the team?
Well, I do. I think he's at a stage in his career where, if he's going to be around here, he needs to have some responsibility as far as leadership. Make no mistake about it, it's Steve's team. I tell everybody that, but we got to have other leaders also. Steve can't be the only leader on this team. I expect Grant and Amari to step up. But I think it's a good thing for Amari. I tell you, it's added responsibility. And as I said to him, as a captain of this team, you're expected to lead by example. Not just verbally, but you got to lead by example. So we expect good things from him. We expect him to step up and do some good things. Yeah, I don't know. You're just that's kind of a that is a possibility. Yes, that's definitely a possibility. But I've often found that guys kind of like to have their roles, and once their roles are established, they have a pretty good feeling of what they're going to do. I think we will try to play our bench, a lot of minutes. We'll try to play 9, 10 guys if that's a possibility of us doing and remaining competitive. We'll do that. I thought our bench did a good job for us last year. Hopefully those guys have improved. I think Robin has improved. Goran played all summer on his national team. Leandro obviously won the gold medal on his national team. So if those guys can give us consistent good minutes, then we have those guys, Steve and Grant and Amari, we can have them fresh at the end of the game. And in the past, I think it's cost us a few games where you know, we've had to play those games, those guys extended minutes in the fourth quarter, where all of a sudden the team, the opposition is coming in with fresh guys. So we're going to try to make sure that the last 6-7 minutes of the game, that those guys are fresh so they can go in and finish the game. Well, you know, that's such a, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it, but you know, we did average 117 points with him here the last 30 games. So when people say that we can't play, you know, that style of basketball with him, you know, I guess you can dispute that. I guess the one thing that it does is that it does open up the floor for us from the opportunity of giving guys like Grant and Jay Rich a chance to be slashers, which they are very good at. But, you know, hey guys, you know, they average 18 points and 8 rebounds. You know, that's a pretty good stat. So, yeah, we'll miss him, but in a lot of ways, this gives us an opportunity to go back and do what we did the last the last 3.5 years.
You see Mari playing 5 summer there and Mari.
Well, I think when you see them announce the starting lineup, they'll announce Amari as a 4, but he'll be a 5. Don't anybody tell him that, okay? You know, I would like for you guys not to tell him that, but yeah, you know. No, I mean, offensively, I think what he does from the standpoint of screening and rolling to the basket, he really opens up the game for everyone. So as far as guarding guys, he's probably defensively, he would guard the 4-man, and Channing or Robin to guard the 5. But I just think with Channing out on the floor, you know, he's a great 3-point shooter. He spaces the floor with Amari rolling to the basket. Then I think that has to be a decision that the defense make. What do I do? Do I help? Or if you don't help, then obviously Steve gets Amari the ball. And when you do, I think Channing at the 3-point line can be very effective for us. I would say if I had to do it today, that Channing probably would be the starting center. But, you know, we will go to camp and that'll take care of itself. But we have a vision as to the coaches, you know, we sat down, we have a vision as to what we think would be best as far as rotations and who matches up well together. So, you know, I think Channing out on the floor with Amari to start the game could be really effective for him.